What's Hoochie Con?
Hoochie Con, baby!
Welcome back to Hoochie History with your favorite Hoochie historian, Soreen Truly. Have you ever wanted to know the Hoochie history of the Brat before she became Mrs. Kaleidoscope? I know you have. Let's get into this episode of Hoochie History, the Brat. Brat was born Shantae Harris, April 14, 1974. Brat was raised on the west side of Chicago by her dad, David McCoy, and her mom, Nadine. Now, although Brat's father was a well-known multi-millionaire businessman, he was not very present in Brat's life. On the contrary, he was very present in Brat's half-sister's life, Lisa Ray McCoy. Consequently, Brat was raised by her grandmother and her mother. Unfortunately, by 1988, David McCoy would tragically pass due to being unalived by his girlfriend. It would be 4 years later when Brat would win the grand prize for Yo MTV Raps Brat competition, where she would get to meet Chris Cross. This meeting would turn out to be a pivotal point in Brat's life. She would connect with producer Jermaine Dupri and shortly after be signed to So So Def Records. After 2 short years of being signed to So So Def, Brat dropped her first album, Functified, and it immediately went platinum. Brat's Functified record going platinum would not only make her a household name, but also make history. She would become the first solo female rapper to exceed selling 1 million records. And as Brat became more popular, she became more private with her dating life. And although Brat might look like she's the one bringing the backpack to the party, she was sought after by the who's who of hip-hop and the hip-hop industry. She would be connected with famous salesmen like Kirk Frost, who showered her with gifts and even bought her a navigator. Although we know that Brat was being showered with gifts by Kirk Frost, we also know that he was community property. And while people were trying to figure out Brat's sexuality, she was busy dating people like AI. And during her time with Allen Iverson, she stated that she would fold his clothes, stuck his, and make sure that he was happy. And although Brat and AI stated that they were very much in love, this relationship would test Brat's already very short temper. Brat stated on several occasions that she would have to fight every night to prove her love. Even stating that one night when hanging out with AI, she had to put the pause on a groupie for being disrespectful. Even with speculation on who Brat was dating, whether male or female, she was able to keep a tight wraps on any relationship she had with women out of respect for her grandmother. And despite what was going on in Brat's private life, her public life, she was very much still successful. By the early 2000s, she had a second album that went gold, a third one that went platinum, and was collaborating with the who's who of hip. However, with Brat's success also came partying in excess. This would prove to be a very dangerous combination for Brat. By 2000, Brat's short temper would catch up to her. In a dispute over VIP seating in an Atlanta nightclub, Brat would pistol leaving her with a head injury that required 6 stitches and leaving Brat on probation. Brat would plead guilty, but this would be the step in the direction of another incident that would change her life forever. It would only be 6 years later that Brat would find herself in trouble again. This incident would take place October 31st, 2007 at a club in Atlanta. During a disagreement with a hostess, Brat would assault her. Brat would plead guilty to aggravated assault and be sentenced to 3 years in prison, 7 years probation, and 200 hours of community service. But it didn't stop there. After serving 21 months in jail on February 28, 2011, Brat was released from prison. February 28, 2014, a civil jury would award the victim $6.4 million in damages due to the incident. Like, comment, and subscribe for part 2 of Brat Hoochie History.